right, good evening. Welcome to Hamilton Southeastern Intermediate Junior High. My name is Ben Yoder, and it is my privilege, as always, to be the orchestra director here. The group behind me is Philharmonic Orchestra, and that was Winds of Change by Jeff Frizzi, who is actually the orchestra director over at Carmel Play Middle School, so a local composer for you this evening. Welcome to the Spring Awards Concert. This is going to be a great night, a celebration of some really great things that have happened this year. This has been a tremendous year for all three of our orchestras and the entire program as a whole, so we're really looking forward to celebrating, and thanks for joining us this evening. We're going to move on to a very recognizable tune now, the theme from Jurassic. It is time to give out some awards this evening, but before we do that, I want to draw your attention to the plaques in the front. This plaque belongs to the orchestra behind me, Philharmonic Orchestra, who received a gold rating at ISMA contest this year, and fantastic job. Well done. All right, one of my favorite things about this concert is giving out the awards that the students actually select. So these students, all the awards I'm about to give out now were selected by the folks who are getting them, were selected by people in the orchestra. So they vote on their peers and like to give props to the folks on their team here, the orchestra team, who they feel deserve these awards. So we'll start with the Most Improved Award for Philharmonic, and I always tell the students that Most Improved does not mean that someone was a horrible player and then suddenly becomes like a less horrible player. That is not the case at all, especially with this particular individual. This is someone who started out as a very solid player and has really continued to improve. He has pushed himself to master his instrument, continue to work on mastering his instrument. A viola player is who the orchestra decided to honor with this award, and I'm very proud to give this to Jonathan Beauchamp this year. Come on over, I know it's a tight squeeze. All right, the next award is a leadership award, and we actually have two winners. There was a tie for this award. In fact, there's a tie for this award in every orchestra, so we'll be giving out two of these in each orchestra, but we'll start with a student who started on their instrument just last year and has been a real leader in this class, working with this section, making sure that they know their part. I can always count on him to know his, a hard worker and a very fine cello player. Please help me recognize Parker Farron. All right, and our second Leadership Award winner is a violinist this year, a 7th grader. She started last year on her instrument, and she comes from a family that has already had a violinist go through the orchestra program, and so her leadership in this class, again, she can always be counted on to know her part. She works very, very hard to make sure it's ready to play at concerts, has a positive attitude all the time. Please help me recognize Addison Rickerfort. All right, our outstanding musician in this class, there are a lot of them, as I'm sure you've already been able to hear, but the orchestra has voted on another violin player. He also has had a sibling go through the program, who is another violinist, and so comes from a great musical family here, a hard worker again, and is actually sitting right up front today. Please help me recognize Oscar Callisto. And the last award we'll give out for this orchestra is the Spirit Award. This is this is a very spirited group, by the way. I see this group first period every day, so they definitely help to wake me up in the morning with their cheery, positive attitude. Some of them are still sleeping like I am, but the orchestra this year has voted on someone who I think really does exhibit a good spirit, the spirit of the orchestra class, and this person ran away with the votes. So please help me recognize Evan Thomas. All right, and we will wrap up Philharmonic's portion of the evening with a piece called Biorhythms.
Thank you.